Welcome to Heartfall. Anybody who's watching this channel for the first time, just be aware of two things. One, the videos that I post in the morning and I'm huffing and puffing, those are my personal opinion videos. So that's me taking a run in the morning and then coming back and giving you what I think, what thoughts are going through my head. And then videos like this one that I post later in the day will be more structured, where if you've been following this channel, we talk about uh, the things that we are going to do, the feedback of where we are and what we're going to do in the next couple of days. So everything we talk about here is not about following the latest news. What we talk about here is the biggest problem in this country, which is crime, what we're going to do about it, and what we can do to put our hands together and make sure that it happens. So just to take you through what we're going to be talking about today, I will touch a little bit of DJ WARRAS because that's really touched me personally. Number two, I'll talk about the Madlanga Commission interim report and what we're going to do about it to make sure it's released to the public because it's in the public interest. Number three, I will be giving an update on the ICJ build-up of that case, and as well as the website, where we are and where we're going to have it live. It was supposed to be live on Monday, but I was advised that we should work on the security of it. For as long as we're dealing with information of people coming in using the card details, we've got to make sure that we've got extra security on that. And number four, then I'll go through the comments. And one of the first comments that I actually saw on the video that was posted, uh, I would say on Saturday, somebody said I need to get a new microphone. So I'm working on that to make sure I've got a nice modern microphone that can sound good. This is really the minimum that I got. But I'll work on the microphone as well so that my voice can come clear and then you can hear what I'm talking about and you can follow through with what we're doing. Just want to make sure this thing stays on because I've got all your comments over there. So starting with DJ WARRAS, guys, it's really sad that we have a CBD in South Africa called Johannesburg that is taken over by criminals. And these criminals are so emboldened by the government that they're literally behaving and acting with impunity. They can carry out their criminal activities without worrying about any consequences. And I always say, wherever you see a hijacked building, there's a politician behind it. Are you telling me that the whole city of Joburg office, the whole office of the mayor of Joburg, is not aware of the hijacked buildings? He's not aware of the hijacked buildings. I mean, if I get into the car now and drive to the Joburg CBD, I'll come back with a number because the signs of a hijacked buildings are so obvious. You don't have to be an expert. You don't need a report. You look at a hijacked building and then you know what's going on. So that's really sad. And once again, I'll send condolences to his family. I know that I heard, I might be wrong, that he's got three boys, and I just pray that they stay strong through this very difficult time. Number two, I want to touch on the Madlanga Commission. I mean, we've been watching a circus. Everybody knows that. We've been watching very incompetent people that are holding very powerful positions at our municipalities and law enforcement agencies. We've been watching this for weeks now. And the report was released today, according to the news. And the presidency has decided that they're not going to be releasing it to the public. So I strongly believe that we have to make them release it. They cannot make an assumption that the public is not ready for it. That's for the public to make up their mind about. We have to make sure that that is released. And then I'll touch more on that when we get to what we're working on. So number three, the ICJ case against the ANC government. This one gets me really excited because let me tell you something. One thing about court cases and taking the government to constitutional courts and stuff, that the biggest part of it is putting pressure on the government to make them aware that not everybody is sleeping like you think they are. The biggest part of it is that you are indicating to them that, you know what, the citizens of this country have more power than you. You don't hold all the power. So when it comes to the ICG case, I've had one meeting on Monday and then I had one meeting today. And by the looks of things, we have to start preparing this for January, as most of the senior council advocates are on holiday. So we have to prepare ourselves in such a way that we start making contributions as soon as the website is ready, which will be latest on Friday, so that by the time we get to January, by end of January, We have a target of 1 million rand. We need to raise 1 million rand, and I'll break down this million rand so you can understand what we're doing here. One, we need to take on the Madlanga Commission report to be released. The interim report must be released to the public. That's the first one we're going to do. We need the report released so that the public can make up their minds about it. And like I said in the video that I posted this morning, the Madlanga report, interim or final, is the evidence against this government. And obviously it demonstrates how this government is part of a criminal syndicate, or is a criminal syndicate for that matter. So the million rand that we're raising, we are raising it for one, to fight and make sure that the Madlanga Commission report, the interim one, is released to the public. Number two is for the ICJ case that we're building. I met with a few senior counsel advocates, and I think by the end of the week, we'll be able to know where the costs are going. But this 1 million rand target will be important for us to start having some sort of movement. And the third thing that we want to do with this 1 million rand budget is that from the 15th of January, I want to start running an awareness campaign with young people. When I start talking to young people in suburbs, young people in townships, so that they can be aware what Heartful stands for, why they should be Heartful, why it's important for them to be active, and what they can do to make sure that their vote in the future has weight. So they need to be educated and be aware of what is happening in this country, what we need to do to make sure we can turn things around, and how much power they have as young people. There are millions and millions of young people in this country of voting age that are not even interested in going to vote, because they have this idea that the government is just the government. What you're going to do? We need to reach out to them, talk to them personally, online. So we have to have online campaigns, reach them out where we can. Like I mentioned at the beginning of this video, I'm not a YouTuber, but YouTube is a channel. It's a platform that can be used to talk to 1,000+ people on a daily basis. So we need to channel some of these funds to make sure that our message can multiply. If we are sending messages via Facebook, Instagram, then we can be able to promote those posts and make sure that it can reach as many young people as possible. And of course, maybe once a week, I don't know where I'm starting to sweat, maybe once a week we can start talking about, having physical meetings and talk to young people in community halls, talk to young people in schools. As long as we can pass the message, somebody will be able to be influenced and join the movement that we're on at the moment. So that's the one. So number four, I just want to talk about, before I get to the comments, I want to talk about the methods of fundraising that we're going to be using. Number one, will be through the website. So once the website is live, you'll be able to go to the website and contribute as an individual or business. Number two, this channel that you're watching at the moment, you are able to join in as a member. So you join the Heartful membership on YouTube, and then you can join in as an individual supporter. You can join in as a business, local business, or you can join in as international or expert. Anybody who's outside the country and is South African, whether they're in Australia, the US, or the UK, you can join the Heartful membership from wherever you are internationally. And number three is through the merchandise. We need to get in fundraising mode, guys. We need to make sure that we can raise enough funds so we can move forward. The feedback that I give you weekly will move much faster when we start doing the physical work. So with the merch, it's heartful.store. These t-shirts go for $279, and obviously we'll keep changing the merchandise to make sure it's nice. We've got caps. We might even do some sort of a gym clothing line, and come winter we'll be able to do hoodies. But the Heartful merchandise is important for us to raise funds so that we can carry out the stuff that we are setting ourselves to carry out. So now let me get to your comments. So I really appreciate your comments, guys, and I want you to know that I do go through all the comments. I might not reply to all of them, but most of them, you guys pray too much. I have received so many comments praying for me that it's really, really overwhelming. And like I said, one of my favorite comments here is that I should just fix the microphone, and I really appreciate that. So on this last post, and when I say last post, I'm talking about the post where we talked about the ICJ case, I received over 220, I think it's about 11,000 views, over 220 comments. And I just want to read a few. Mike Matlo gives the latest. Okay, that's my message. We need to stand together to get change in South Africa. Thank you for your effort. I appreciate that. And then I have another message here. Yes, a great idea to educate absolutely everyone about the importance of voting correctly. And that's where the campaign comes in. We need to mobilize the youth and really touch on their thinking and say, guys, if you don't understand the weight of your vote, if you don't understand where the country is going, where it should be going, we're all going to be in trouble. Jacques here says the worst fear of any government is for people to unite as one, because they know they will be in trouble if we merge as people. I appreciate that, Jacques. And then Katarina says, South Africa, stand together to vote ANC out, please. Really bad for our beautiful country. Citizens, open your eyes and stand together. God bless. So these are the messages that I really appreciate, guys. Well done, Mr. Matlo. Every true South African should stand with you and support your efforts in saving this beautiful country. Praying for you and hoping faithfully that the Lord goes before us in this battle. So this is the theme that I'm getting from you guys, that if this is how we truly feel, we need to put our resources behind it. We have to get it done. How can those guilty of corruption run a government? We need new guys. Thank you very much. That was from Paul. And then Meshia says, don't forget that they were caught stealing the votes last year. Still nothing happened. They declared the votes free and fair. You know, one thing about the IEC, I still have a bit of hope for the IEC, although I just feel like where the ANC is at the moment and the way I feel like they've become more radical in retaining power. And if we don't wake up and do something before 2029, they might do something with the votes. We don't want to get there, guys. We don't want to get to a point where the ANC or the current government is so brazen in their actions that we now have a problem with credibility of our votes. People should be made aware that voting in private, nobody knows who you vote for. It can be your secret and need to be disclosed to anyone. This is why everyone goes into a three-sided booth alone while placing their cross. This sounds trivial, but it's important. Young people do not understand the weight of their vote. I mean, I was speaking to a couple of young people. I think it was a couple of weeks ago, and I was saying, "Are you watching the Madlanga Commission?" They're like, "What's the Madlanga Commission?" So as adults, we're watching these things and working ourselves up, and these kids are just like, whatever. So we need to reach them and make them understand that if they don't stand up for their country, they will have nothing to inherit as young people. All politicians are accomplices. And I get another one that says, thank you, sir, for all your efforts. I salute you. God bless you. Thank you. Thanks for all your effort. There's another Mike Wolf. Thanks for all your effort, Mike. You've become such an important voice in our fight to keep this country safe. Keep up the good work. You doing cause you are uniting this country and giving us hope for the future. I appreciate that. Thanks for your worthy advice. Each one must recruit 10 to vote non-ANC. A powerful vote is the one which can be changed. Otherwise, it loses its power. Well done behind you. Not just enough that we get rid of the cancer, but they need to be held accountable and prosecuted. You know, when I think about Hartfall itself, the main thing about Hartfall is that until we restore law and order in this country, until lawlessness stops, we cannot build anything. We cannot build anything or refurbish any building in any CBD or any city in this country for as long as those cities are run by criminals. That is why I'm very passionate about training young people who are not in education, employment, or training into law enforcement and security so that they can patrol our streets. Imagine if we had 200 patrollers in the CBD in Joburg the day that DJ WARRAS was shot. You could have reduced the chance of him being shot by 50% because of the presence of security. Trained, disciplined, focused patrol units. So until we're able to reach out to the youth and make them become part of the solution, I actually had this thought this morning that if we want to take this country back, it's not going to be done by singing and saying radical slogans. No, it will be done the only way to take this country back is when we can get young people to be part of the solution. In this case, they can be part of the solution in solving the issue of crime, restore law and order in their own communities, in their own cities, in their own towns. Once we can claim those spaces back, we can change this country. Oh yeah, here's a funny one. Somebody says, finally we are growing a pair. Got my people 100% will be reaching out. Thank you. It's exactly what people need, especially the youth. You are giving direction. First time somebody is actually doing this. I think this is the start of the greatest event in our recent history. I'm very sure there are many people like myself in other areas that are prepared to do anything to help. That goes on. I really appreciate that. I really appreciate that. So what has happened in South Africa is that our youth have become so detached from the reality of South Africa that you have parties in this country that can get away with a lot of things where the leaders are not ethical, the leaders are not interested. They can have a whole conference for a weekend and not discuss one solution for the country. They can have a conference for a whole weekend and they don't discuss crime, they don't discuss unemployment, they don't discuss where we are as a country and what we can do to improve our country. They do not. They just carry on and discuss their own votes and who's going to be the next president and who's going to be the next secretary general. They are not interested in fixing this country. And the only way we're going to fix this country is if we can get the youth to be part of the solution. But as hurtful as we are raising this money here, the first thing we're going to do, parallel to influencing the youth, is making sure that we take this government to task when it comes to the things that we feel are unconstitutional. Just like now they are trying to conceal, they're trying to hide away the interim report. And I don't understand when that man, what's his name, the spokesperson of the president came on TV and said, no, we can't have this interim report get released because it might cause a few problems. People will come with, or did they see the report already? Did they read it already? Because the report was released today. So why is he making assumptions that there will be information there that is not good for us as a country? That report must be released so we can make up our own minds. Interim or final, we want that report to be public because we're already watching the nonsense anyway. Okay, let me continue. We're all hurtful for ANC presidents. They must fall. You don't find racism, you find politicians. Keep up the good work. What I also found about these politicians of ours is that it looks like when all fails and everything has failed, they go back to the good old trick. Blame someone. Be the victim. Blame apartheid. Blame the system. You had 30 years to get the country going. You had 30 years to turn things around. You had 30 years to implement policies that can make sure that our kids get the best education, our kids get the best chance, businesses can get the best chance to create more jobs in this country. You know, one thing I know about business people, and I am one thing about business people is that we actually love to be independent. The reason why we open businesses and run businesses is because we would like to do what we want. So when a business person comes up with an idea and they put money behind the idea, they want to be independent of the government. The government can come with regulations, like for example, if you're coming up with a new product, it must, it must satisfy certain standards. I can understand it, but the minute the government wants to run every aspect of our lives, that's where the problem starts. And this ANC government is doing that. They want to run every aspect of our lives. Soon they're going to be telling us who to marry. I don't know. We're behind you all the way. Mike, God bless you. Subscribe. We need more people like you. I'm glad I found your channel. I appreciate that. Please join the Heartful membership so that we can contribute to this mission. And like I mentioned before, when you start seeing people in public and having public meetings, that comes with security as well. Great success to you. Wish you had someone awake enough even 10 years ago. We might have had a chance of recovery. Is the old people generally that keep voting for ANC in the belief they're helping them. Odd but true, considering they've had zero. Yeah, all people in South Africa were voting for the ANC. You know, that one is it's a very, very complicated thing. But I think if we can awaken the young vote, awaken young people, their vote can surpass that of old people. I think young people, if you put the facts on the table and say, guys, if we don't do something, whether you're 18 or 28, if you don't do something about this government right now, we're going to find ourselves in a situation where there's no coming back. Our country is dead. We cannot come back and fix it. They need to understand that for as long as you are alive today and you are a young person today, it is in your best interest to make sure that this country works so that your kids and your grandkids can inherit a working country. There's nothing worse than a country with no future. There's nothing worse than that. Yes, man. Yes, that is the way a South African speaks. Thank you, Sir Danke. As South Africans, we can fix a lot in this country, in this beautiful, beautiful country. But as one, as one, all races in South Africa. These criminals. Okay, let me read that again. This criminal way corrupt must go. Okay, I guess maybe this person said these criminals must go. Sometimes when it happens to me when I type and then I look back, I'm like, what the hell was I typing? Salute, sir. Thank you for being a light in the tunnel. I appreciate that. I appreciate that. We can start over, family. Per household, start teaching the people in our house about the importance of your vote, who not to vote for. If we can do that, we can vote ANC out. Black, white, Indians, colors must pull together and in one direction. Leave the ball behind. Guys, the messages that I get, what I'm getting from these comments is that we are all on the same page. And what has been missing in South Africa is that social media is wonderful. We all talk to each other. I mean, that video that I did this morning on TikTok, it did over 50,000 views. But we are good at viewing stuff, commenting, sending loves, liking, and do nothing. That changes now. We're gonna end 2025 with a plan. When we get to 2026, we are not looking back. But everything costs money. We need to put this 1 million rand fund together, contribute, and then we have a way forward. And one of the reasons why we installed insecurity in this website is because, first of all, we deal with people's information and payments. And secondly, we want to be able to create a system where you can actually go to the website and see where's the funding, what we've done with it, and what we are doing with the balance. This one says, we need people like you, Mr. Matlo. The boldness, courage, and I really appreciate and support you 100%. And we have been fooled by, we've been fooled for donkeys' years. I thought you said we've been fooled by donkeys. Now I get it. We've been fooled for donkeys' years by these criminals. Let's hope for the new South Africa. Let's hope for a new South Africa. And as we as citizens, we have to stand up, have strength, and be protected by the Almighty God. Like I said, the prayers that are coming through, I'm starting to feel a bit holy now. I appreciate that so much. I really, really do. And another one says, heartful is the word. Thank you. I'm so heartful. The devil runs this country. I'm with you all the way. You know, talking about the devil, when I think about what the ANC has done to this country, you cannot explain it in any other way than evil. It is evil. How do you how do you destroy a country to a point where nothing works? And how do you destroy a country to a point where people can commit crime with impunity and get away with it? But I think it starts at the top. Let's be honest about that. Amen and education is the truth. As you know, some South Africans do not like the truth. So, bro, you are giving South Africans some hope, love. Your channel, man. Nice, very nice work. Look after yourself, bro. Please be safe. You know what? With the number of prayers that I'm getting, I believe I feel safe already. I feel safe already. But like I said, the minute we start doing this awareness campaign with the youth, get the heartful message out there, guys. You cannot accept the current conditions. You cannot accept the way we live. We cannot accept it. It's not acceptable. We cannot accept that our cities and towns are taken over by criminals. So the other day I went to Rodiport town and the whole town is nothing but taverns and brothels. We can't have that situation going on. Respect, Sema. I wish you all the best on this journey that you're embarking on. If we are supported by sufficient evidence, witnesses, and a robust legal team, it could be possible to bring a case before the International Court of Justice to seek accountability against the ANC-led government. And I believe the South African government, led by the ANC, may have acted beyond its mandate by taking unilateral action against Israel. Yes. So for me, honestly speaking, I don't want the ICJ case against the ANC to look like revenge. We are standing on as South Africans against crime and what the ANC has done to let crime run rampant in this country. Why not? Okay. That one I think I read before. You have My full support. I wish you and your team all the best for what you're doing to save our wonderful country with our beautiful people. You guys are my team. It's not me and my team. We are a team. We build this community and we move it forward. We build this community together and we're going to have solutions. Let me tell you something. When I talk about an awareness campaign, and when you have an awareness campaign, you need three things. One, you need mobility. Two, you need security. And number three, you need to build a media team. Whether it's one person holding a camera and an editor and have a very nice background, because social media, all these platforms that we are using now, we're able to talk to thousands and thousands of people without even leaving the house. And even when you go out and talk to young people, and then that becomes content and you put on social media. When you talk to young people in the East and you send the content all over social media, young people in the West will see that and want to attend the next event. So social media will be very, very important. Instead of spending 1,000 Rand on petrol, you're better off spending 1,000 Rand on promoting your content and getting it to 100,000 people to see. So a combination of the two is very important. So my team on my side is everybody who's watching this channel and supporting it. And on my side, what I can do in my personal capacity is have somebody who can build a media team where we can have good quality cameras, high quality editing, so that the content can be good and be sent and spread throughout the country. Sorry, my chair is making a bit of noise. I agree 100% that every township and every suburb need to be reached. People need to be informed. That's what I'm talking about. The awareness campaign that has to be run in January, concurrent with the ICJ case, is that young people need to hear this message. Young people need to stop watching people dancing on TikTok and listen to the message about their future. We need to reach them out. Okay, I'm going to read the last one, guys. Well done, Mike. Blessings and strength to you on your crusade. You are definitely onto something great, but crime is so rife, wide, and all encompassing. You are going to have a Mount Everest to climb. Time to get some young and like-minded and passionate people to support you. The youth are the future and have the most to gain. We have to reach out to the youth, guys. We as adults can finance the campaign, but the target is to influence the youth. Our target is to talk to young people and make sure that they can get the idea that, guys, we're on the wrong path, and then your vote, your actions are the only thing that is outstanding to change direction. So I think that would be the last. I'll leave it there. So this is the program this is the format that we're going to be using. So we'll talk about something general, and I'll give feedback on the ICJ case and feedback on how much funding we've managed to get, how to contribute further, where we are, what we're going to do. And then I'll go through some comments. I might not go through all of them, but I'll go through them so that you know that I see them and they really warm my heart. So until then, stay safe.